Morning, everyone. My name is Vijay, and on behalf of my group members Marco, Rebecca, Jiyong, and Yihong, I'd like to welcome you to our presentation. Today, we will be analyzing the article by South 2024, Structure of Resilience Charge of Global Liquefied Natural Gas Shipping Network during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. By this topic, the Russia-Ukraine conflict is a major geopolitical event that has a sense wave through global energy market. Liquefied natural gas or LNG is a critical component of the world energy supply and its transportation network underpin global trade. The article we are reviewing provides a timely, data-driven analysis of how this network to have been disrupted. Our presentation has four parts: a summary of our article finding, a critic highlighting area of agreement and disagreement support by the external research, and finally recommendation for enhanced LNG legislation in the future. Now I will pass the time to Marco, who will provide a summary of the article.
Thank you, Vijay. I'm Marco, and I will summarize the key aspects of CL 2024 research. The study investigates how the Russia-Ukraine conflict has altered the global LNG shipping network structure and resilience. Using automatic identification system AIS data from 2021 and 2022, the authors mapped out the global LNG maritime network, including the ports and choke points. There are three major findings stand out. The first one is the redirection of trade flows. Europe significantly increased its LNG imports from the United States to reduce reliance on Russian pipeline gas, which led to higher traffic through the English Channel. The second one is the structural change in the network. The analysis found that the overall resilience of the network was lower in 2022 than in 2021. European ports gained greater importance, while many Asian ports saw their role decline. The third one is the simulation of disruptions. Intentional attacks on key choke points, such as Strait of Hormuz, would have a far greater impact on global resilience than random disruptions. Blocking even a few strategic nodes could fragment the entire network. In short, the paper demonstrates that the conflict not only rewrote LNG trade but also exposed greater fragility in the global system. And now, Rebecca will continue with the critique of the article. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. I'm Rebecca, and I will highlight the strength of the article and the point we agree with. First, we strongly agree with the central finding that the conflict fundamentally reshaped global LNG flows. Other research confirmed this. Europe LNG import rose to 15.9 billion cubic feet per day in 2022, around 65% higher than the year before, with the United States providing most of the additionally supplied by U.S. Energy Information Administration 2022. This aligns directly with CEL 2024 data showing the increased importance of European ports. Second, the author conclusion that the global energy network has become more valuable is also compelling. The use of the resilience matrix strengthens this argument. We know from the previous cases that choke point disruption can have global ripple effect. For example, the 2021 Suez Canal blockage significantly disrupted supply chain worldwide. This supports the paper claim that maritime energy networks are inherently fragile. Finally, we commend the innovative use of AIS data. Traditional trade statistics often lack, but AIS provided near real-time insights, allowing the researcher to capture the immediate impact of the conflict with the impressive accuracy. Overall, the article conclusions are well supported and consistent with broader energy market trends. Now I will hand over to Zhiyong for the counterpoint.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm Ziyong. While the article provides valuable insights, there are three critical areas where we believe the analysis could go further Let me show you the data that supports our position. First, the claim that LNG network resilience universally decreased may be too broad. The International Energy Agency noted that the growing flexibility and liquidity of the global LNG market were crucial in the response of the gas supply shock of 2022. While the structural vulnerability increases, adaptability also improved. Let me use the graph to demonstrate the paradox of this situation. This graph demonstrates exactly that paradox. Notice how our flexibility index jumped 80% during the 2022 crisis year. The emergency rerouting capacity increased 139% from 28 events in 2021 to 67 events in 2022. The market became more vulnerable structurally, but more adaptable operationally, a crucial dimension the original article underplays. Second, the study timeframe is limited to 2021 and 2022. Supply chain often need years to adjust. Since then, Europe has accelerated LNG infrastructure dramatically. And here is what it is. Germany had 0 LNG terminals before the conflict, but added 1.8 BCF in 2023, with another 1.6 BCF planned for 2024. The Netherlands, Spain, and Italy also expanded significantly. Total European capacity increased 85% from pre-crisis level, or after the original article study period ended. This infrastructure growth shows resilience emerges through medium-term application. Third, the article focuses mainly on physical shipping networks, but give less attention to commercial and policy dynamics. Flexible supply contracts, international sanctions, and G7 price caps has significantly reshaped LNG trade. This is the evolution of contract flexibility. Long-term contract share dropped from 75% to 50% between early 2022 and late 2023. The flexible contract increases 172%, and the policy tools like the G7 price cap reduce Russian revenues by 35% while maintaining supply stability. This institutional adaptation create new forms of resilience that purely network-based analysis miss. In short, while the core findings are strong, a more nuanced definition of resilience and longer-term perspective reveals the LNG market demonstrated remarkable adaptability, not a universal decline. Now, I will hand over to Yihong for our recommendations. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ziyong. And I am Mi Hong, and I will outline our recommendation based on both article and our analysis, supported by recent data and visual evidence. Our first recommendation is to diversify the transportation routes and suppliers. Over-reliance on a few choke points create systemic risk. Exploring alternatives such as the Arctic routes and diversifying supply source will reduce the vulnerability. The Strait of Hormuz and the English Channel create systemic vulnerabilities in LNG supply chain. As shown in figure, most global LNG traffic is concentrated through a few high-risk maritime corridors. Alternative shipping routes like Northern Sea Route and the Cape of Good Hope's path can serve as a contingency pathway. In addition, diversifying suppliers, particularly expanding ties with non-traditional exporters, will enhance the global resilience. The second recommendation is strengthen the risk management and cooperation. To ensure safety and continuity, government and the port authorities must conduct a regular network resilience assessment and strengthen the joint maritime patrols and intelligence sharing. This effort will help detect, deter, and respond to potential threats in high-traffic choke points, especially in conflict-prone regions. The third recommendation is invest in LNG infrastructure and redundancy. Building additional LNG terminals, especially in Europe and Asia, can provide greater buffering capacity and flexibility. As shown in figure, Europe regasification capacity increased significantly from 2021 to 2023 and is projected to continue growing in 2024.
This infrastructure expansion allows for rerouting the supplies if a major terminal is disrupted, thereby minimizing the impact of localized shocks. The last recommendation is integrate political and economic dimensions. While the article focuses on physical network change, the commercial and political context is equally important. Energy sanctions, price caps, and demand-side shifts help alter LNG trading behavior, encouraging flexible supply contracts and improving policy coordination across LNG importing nations can reinforce structural adaptability during market turbulence. In short, building a resilient LNG system requires a combination of diversifications, corporations, infrastructure investment, and strategic policy alignment. With geopolitical risks unlikely to disappear soon, proactive preparation is essential. Now, I will return the time to Wei Jie for our conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Yihong. To conclude, SAL 2024 provided a timely and rigorous analysis of how the Russian-Ukraine conflict reconfigured LNG shipping. The paper demonstrates both the vulnerability and adaptive capacity of global energy supply chains. Our critics agree with the core finding, while also noting the need for the broader definition of resilience that includes adaptability and long-term infrastructure change. The key lesson is clear. In a world of the geopolitical uncertainty, building resilience into critical energy network is not optional. It is essential. Through diversification, cooperation, and strategic investment, we can make this network more secure and sustainable. Thank you for your attention. We now welcome your question.